it's Erica. Welcome back to Maniacal Reader. Today I'm doing another tag video. I'm doing the I Never book tag. This book tag was created by Elizabeth over at Lizziefaybooks. I'll put a link to her original video down below. I saw this video on Olivia's channel from iLivieforbooks. Her channel is relatively new, and it's one of the new channels that I've been watching. I'll put a link to her video down below as well. The first question is, I never read that. Name a book that you've never read that everyone else has. For this question, I'm going to have to go with Percy Jackson and the Olympians by Rick Riordan. This is the first book in a middle grade fantasy series, and it's the series that started it all. Nearly everyone that I know on BookTube has read this series, but I have never read it. I want to get into more fantasy this year, and this book sounds like a good book to start with, so I'm ready to get on to the Rick Riordan train. The next question is, I never read anything so awesome. Name your favorite book. I don't really have a favorite book. One of my favorite genres is definitely new adult romance as of lately. I discovered the genre last year, and I've been hooked on it so far. The next question is, I never thought I would get through it. Name a book that you didn't like, but powered through it anyway. This book would have to be Confess by Colleen Hoover. I read this book last year sometime, and I liked the relationship in the beginning, but as the book wore on, the main character just became possessive and controlling, and I didn't like it that much. I gave it 2 out of 5 stars. I ended up putting it down, and I was debating on whether I should pick it back up again, but I was curious about how the book would end, so I ended up picking up the book again and finishing it anyway. The next question is, I will never finish that. Name a book or a series that you don't plan on finishing. I hardly ever not finish a series, so I don't have an answer for this question. The next question is, I will never regret reading that. Name a book that you read solely on a recommendation that you ended up really liking. Last year in 2016 was when I discovered the new adult romance genre, and I really got into it. I heard about this book called Full Tilt from Carol over at the Reading Wallflower, and I heard how much she loved this book in one of her reading wrap-ups. Because of that, I wanted to read this book since she loved it so much. I am so glad I did. I gave this book 5 out of 5 stars. This book follows a girl named Casey Dawson who is the lead singer in a band called Lead Confessions. She did have a good home life, but when she was 15, she did something that her parents didn't like, so her dad kicked her out of the house as a teenager, and she's been on her own ever since. She meets this guy named Jonah Fletcher. Jonah Fletcher is an all-around nice guy. He's the guy that you can depend on, and he's the guy that would do anything for you. Him and Casey meet by chance with Jonah's life. He's running out of time, he has a heart condition, but when he meets Casey, a relationship grows between them. So this book is all about what would you do if you met the one near the end of your life. I really enjoyed the relationship between these two characters, and it's unlike any relationship that I've read before in a new adult romance book. I still have thoughts about it to this day. This is the first book in a duology. So the first one is Full Tilt, and the second book, All In, is the final book in this duology. You can't have one without the other. The first book explores Casey and Jonah's relationship, but the second book explores Casey's relationship with Theo, Jonah's younger brother. I loved both of these books. I also gave this book 5 out of 5 stars. I really suggest you check out these 2 books. They are really 5-star reads. These books made it onto my favorites list in 2016. I wouldn't be the same without them if I hadn't read them. They're that good. The next question is, I would never do that. Name a relatable character who made choices you didn't agree with or did things you would never do. For this question, I'm going to have to go with Daisy Calloway from the Addicted series. She's a really free spirit and a wild character. I admire her so much for her adventurous spirit. She's definitely the craziest Calloway girl. Daisy definitely does things that I wouldn't do, but wish that that I would do as a person. She's one of those characters. The next question is, I never wanted to admit it. Name a book that you were embarrassed to say you read or were embarrassed to carry around with you. I don't really have an answer for this question. I'm not really embarrassed by anything I read. The next question is, I never read anything so heartwarming. Name a book or a series that really touched your heart. For this, I would have to go with any of the books from the Addicted series. I love all of the characters in that series and all of the journeys that they go through. Lily and Lo are my favorite couple of that series, and just seeing their struggle throughout the series really touches my heart. I also like the support that they have around them, like Lo's brother Reich or Lo's best friend Connor. I do like the support that Lily and Lo can provide later on in the series. These characters really love each other and they'll be best friends for the rest of their lives. These characters are really close together and I really like the connections between them. The Addicted series is one of my favorite series of all time, so it is definitely a book that has its up and downs, but that's what makes the heartwarming moments between these characters that much more powerful. The next question is, I never laughed so hard. Name a book that made you laugh out loud. I don't really laugh in books that much, but for this question I'm going to have to go with Kiss the Sky, and I'm talking about a particular part in this book where Lo continually calls one of Daisy's boyfriend Julian the name Julius just to get on his nerves. And every time he does that in this book, I crack up. Lo is definitely not one of the funnier characters throughout the series, but in these moments during Kiss the Sky, I crack up so hard. I reread the book in March and I actually forgot about Daisy's boyfriend Julian and the fact that Lo always calls him Julius. So that was a welcome surprise. And the last question is, I never could have made it through childhood without it. Name a favorite childhood book or book series. One of my favorite childhood book series is actually a book series that I remember reading on my own for the first time, and that's the Junie B. Jones series by Barbara Park. Junie B. Jones and Her Big Fat Mouth is actually the first book that I read on my own independently ever. So I'll always remember the book series for that reason. Junie B. Jones is very funny, and the fact that she gets angry at a lot of things really made me laugh as a child. Those are all of the questions for this tag. I'm not sure who to tag in this video since I'm not sure who has done this tag, but if you would like to do this tag, I tag you. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll see you in my next one. Bye!